As predicted, once Micron announced their earnings, the stock surged and took quite a bunch of others with it, including SanDisk, Seagate, etc. However, this is pre-market. If you notice, it's down. This is a momentum stock, no doubt. Micron CEO says DRAM tightness may persist past 2027, with gradual easing possibly in 2028. Micron's upcoming HBM4 memory will be used with NVIDIA's Vera Rubin platform. Multiple brokers raise Micron price targets to 1,100 to 2,000 and get positive ratings, highlighting bullish analyst updates and higher street targets for the memory chip maker. If you're holding or playing in this market right now, and you're profitable, awesome. Doesn't hurt to take some profits off the table. However, if you're a consumer looking for a new computer, laptop, or even the next phone, iPhone, or the gaming console, bad news. The price is not coming down anytime sooner. This is SanDisk. Pre-market 2,200. And guess what? It's not done yet. Citigroup sees SanDisk as top beneficiary of strong Micron earnings. SanDisk price target raised to $2,500 per share. Well, let this sink in. This was the sentiment. The semiconductor market is mixed this week. Major consolidation and breakthroughs are offset by a broader sector sell-off ahead of Micron earnings and ongoing trade tensions. Early stage US reshoring optimism via Apple-Intel partnership. ChipStack Awards provides a positive structural backdrop. The Apple-Intel US chip manufacturing partnership is the highest impact emerging opportunity, with the potential to create a new domestic high-volume foundry ecosystem that reshapes global supply chains and benefits US equipment, materials, and EDA companies. Monitor Micron's earnings and guidance closely for cycle direction signals. Evaluate long positions in US foundry beneficiaries, given the Apple-Intel partnership, and consider exposure to SiC power semiconductor suppliers riding CHIPS Act funding tailwinds. And before I go deeper, just to show you a little more, this is Western Digital Corporation. While SanDisk and Micron is up, look at the other ones. They're taking a beating, whether it's Qualcomm, Seagate, Lumentum Holdings, you have AFCO here, pre-market down. And look at the big players: Google, Apple, Amazon, TSM. Look at AXT. What happened to AXT? On Semiconductor acquires Synaptics in $7 billion edge AI deal. South Korea develops high school pipeline for chip making talent. BHP backed iPulse wins $250 million US chips award for 6 semiconductors. IBM announces world's first sub-1 nanometer chip technology. This breakthrough is transistor scaling. Semiconductor stocks resume sell-off ahead of Micron earnings. And this is a day ago. And we already know Micron came out with record profits, and you see what you see right now. The sell-off reflects market anxiety about the potential demand slowdown, inventory corrections, and export controls. Micron's results and guidance will serve as a bellwether for the broader memory and semiconductor cycle, influencing near-term sector direction. Apple and Intel form landmark US chip manufacturing partnership. This partnership reshapes the global semiconductor supply chain by bringing high-volume advanced manufacturing back to the US, reducing dependence on Asian foundries. It signals a strategic realignment of the world's largest chip buyer with an American manufacturer. I'm not sure if you are paying attention. If you notice, Apple partners with Intel. Apple does something with NVIDIA. They do something with OpenAI, who somehow does something with Seagate or Micron. It's like going in a circle. I'm not saying that there's no value in this industry, AI's industry or semiconductor industry, but it's extremely overvalued at this moment. Just my 2 cents. DRAM price. The overall market sentiment is bullish on DRAM pricing in the short to medium term, driven by AI infrastructure demand and constrained supply, though consumer pushback and regulatory probes introduce caution. The launch of leveraged DRAM ETFs and potential buying windows due to buyer-resistant represent tactical opportunities for investors and procurement teams to gain exposure or lock in inventory. And when I said overvalued, yes, there's demand, but I just mentioned how it's going in a circular thing. So if NVIDIA, or let's say OpenAI, or any of the huge AI companies buy DRAM or whatever semiconductors or chips from Micron or SanDisk, OpenAI and that AI company has to be profitable. And if they're not, you know what happens. The demand slows down. The price-fixing allegations against Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron pose a major litigation and regulatory risk that could disrupt the supply chain and lead to severe financial penalties. Monitor demand signals from AI and data centers. Lock in supply contracts with price protections if possible, and stay updated on the price-fixing investigation outcomes while avoiding overexposure to leveraged instruments. Lenovo warns high memory prices are new normal through 2030. It doesn't seem that normal to consumers. Ladies and gents, 2030. This long-term forecast from a major PC manufacturer suggests the memory market has structurally shifted due to AI demand. Consumers and businesses should expect elevated prices for the foreseeable future. DRAM prices surge up to 89% in 2026 quarter 2. This massive price increase represents the peak of a memory shortage driven by AI demand. The consumer segment is being destroyed as memory costs become prohibitive for typical PC builders. Samsung, SK Hynix, Micron accused of price fixing, just discussed. Micron stock soars on bullish DRAM outlook. Apple increases prices 20% amid rising memory cost. Apple raised prices on MacBooks and iPads by about 20% due to surging NAND flash and DRAM costs. 20% is not a joke. $1,000 would be $1,200 now, minimum, and then you have taxes and whatnot. New 2x long DRAM ETFs launch amid bullish sentiment. The launch of leveraged DRAM ETFs shows strong institutional appetite for memory exposure. These financial products amplify both gains and losses, indicating high conviction but also speculation. Buyers resist higher DRAM quotes as price gains slow. What happens when the consumers are tapped out and they can afford it? What happens to demand? Time will tell. And now, before I end, Samsung and SK Hynix are preparing to announce hundreds of billions of dollars worth in new investments. Your next phone, laptop, and console are about to get more expensive. Samsung and SK Hynix are spending hundreds of billions to end the memory shortage, but a chip plant takes years to build. Relief is not coming this year or next. Tim Cook says he never seen a price surge like in memory chips. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron couldn't predict AI demand, yet somehow posted record profits while their RAM bill 10x. Three companies control 95% of global DRAM. Prices up 246%. Target alone eating 40% of supply. This ain't a shortage, it's a cartel. Let me know your opinion in the comments. I'm just curious. And if you want me to cover any topics in the upcoming days. This is all I have in today's grid report. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.